the religious festivals and important occasions over here. My teachers have always encouraged and motivated me to strive hard. I would like to thank our principal, vice principals, and teachers for always being so considerate and working hard for the better prospects of the students. Thank you.
Good morning, dear teachers and my dear friends. It's finally the day all of us students have been working towards, our graduation. Even though I've been in the school for only 2 years now, one of which was completely online, the memories that I've made here will never leave my heart. We have been given amazing experiences and heartfelt memories amidst all the draining assignments, projects, and paperwork. The year 2021, my first year in Sindhi High School, was a tough For all this, I would like to apologize to my teachers and hope you can look back now and laugh at these silly stunts. One of my favorite memories from 2022 was the dance practices for our Independence Day and Annual Day performances. I remember waking up in the morning and thinking only about the dance. It gave a break from all the studies and let me dance freely without anything holding me back. All these big events are great, but nothing makes school more memorable than the little things, like our 30-minute breaks, which seem so insignificant but play such a huge role in our mental health. We all did everything but eat, didn't we? Some went to the ground to play games, while some roamed around the classes while talking to friends. And in some rare cases, like my class, we used our friend's lunchbox lid as a frisbee. I should conclude by saying this. Up to this point in many of our lives, most things have been decided for us. From now on, it's up to us to make the decision. I wish you the best of luck. Thank you.
Hello. Is my lipstick gone?
You know what I want right now? I want to be. You know what I want right now? I'm serious. I want to be spread. You know what I want right now? I'm serious. I want to be because at the school office. You know what I want right now? I'm serious. I want to be because I was scared of entering this new place. My teacher had to pick me up and take me to my class while I cried. Pretty dramatic for me. But now I stand here before you and I still feel like crying, but only because I do not want to leave my school, the place which was once a new place to me. One of the most important parts of my life are my friends. Friends who are very close to me, friends who I've known since childhood, friends to do mischief with, and friends whom I occasionally talk. Every single friend has impacted my lifestyle or my life in one way or the other. I will never forget our breaks. We did almost everything but eat. Playing choo-chang, basketball, chore police, or any other game we could invent. Using the breaks for our so-called music or dance practices. Having little war in the canteen and fighting over those onion samosas or the cup noodles. Sports days, annual days, Independence Day, and every period we missed practicing for these events were one of my best times ever. Van drives, bus trips, picnics, and making a mess of the picnic bus are one of my fondest memories. I will miss my teachers most of all, each and every teacher who I've known whether or not they have taught me, right from pre-KG to 12. The hardest part of goodbyes is the thought of not seeing each other and not having fun like we used to. Goodbyes are the hardest because goodbyes aren't good. Thank you.
I was rather calm and happy, and I knew I had found my safe space. And these past 12 years have been one heck of a roller coaster ride, and today is a warm hug of those memories and big dreams for our future. This school, or I would like to refer it as our school, has been an integral part in all of our lives. We've created one of the most beautiful memories that we ever will, found amazing friends, and also learned one of the most important lessons that we ever will. A part of me does not want this day to end while the other never wanted this day to arrive. On one hand, I'm happy that we get to venture out and learn new things, but on the other, to achieve this, we have to learn something behind it as a constant for the better part of our lives. So on this day of recitation, I'd like to congratulate all my fellow batchmates and wish you all the very best. Also, keep learning, keep trying, keep venturing out, keep believing in yourself, and have a good look at
Check
that
her.
painting. It might be the last time you ever see it.
I want to say last one. So after Shubham Kalyana, one update for you people, I'll stay here. Then after that, then Jyoti Kalash
Check. Hello, check. Hello.
Children, please stop talking.
Hello. Damn.
Children, please maintain silence. We are about to begin.
I'm happy with this.
To accomplish great things, we must not only act, but also dream. Not only plan, but also believe. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's a great honor to welcome you all to celebrate the graduation ceremony of Class 10 and 12 for the year 2022-23. Graduation is a time to imagine and understand one's future in the world to come. It indicates progress, growth, and transformation. A time to think of the road ahead and gain a wider perspective by looking back to where it all began. It is a testament to the achievements of our students and to the love and support they have received over the years from parents and the whole school community. Each of them have grown in a way that they should be proud of and are now ready to transit to a new, exciting chapter in their lives. They have gained new knowledge and skills that they can now take into the world, form new friends, new ideas, and new thoughts. As members of Sindhi High School Hebbal, we take pride in creating functional members that can contribute to society by our special brand of modern and traditional teaching methods based on holistic development.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I now request you to rise to welcome our chief guest, Shri Mahesh Bhatija, our special invitee, Lieutenant Commander Disha A. Ashra, and honorable dignitaries. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Please be seated. It is a great privilege. it is a great privilege to welcome our chief guest, Sri Mahesh Bhatija, to this August gathering. A warm welcome to our special invitee, Lieutenant Commander Disha A. Ashra. I would also like to extend a hearty welcome to our President, Sri Sanjeev Atmaram, Chairman, Sri Prakash R. Narang, Honorary Secretary, Sri Arun Rajani, Honorary Treasurer, Sri Kiran S. Chawla, and Honorary Joint Secretary, Sri Nirmal Rajani, members of the School Governing Council, and members of the management. I also welcome Principal of Sindhi High School, Kumara Krupa Road, Mrs. Devika Kiran. A special welcome to all the executives of Sindhi Group of Educational Institution. We also welcome all the proud parents of the young graduating Sindhians. This graduation day is themed Determined Minds and Endless Possibilities. According to Henry Ford, if you believe you can do something, you can. If you believe you can't, you are probably right. Though the world will do everything in its power to create barriers and want you to conform, only those who train their minds and are resilient to swim the tides of life will be the ones to achieve great heights. Ladies and gentlemen, kindly give a huge round of applause to the 282 graduating Sindhians who are well equipped and have learned to keep moving forward, facing challenges with grit and determination.
Here's presenting to you the stars of 2022-23.
ऊंचे रहे जो तेरे कद से इरादे तो ये फलक मगरूर
है ठान लिया हमने सूरज सा जलना है सपनों को दो परवाज़ अगर उड़ने की तमन्ना है ठान लिया हमने सूरज सा जलना है सपनों
Parents, you're requested to give them a big round of applause. Coming.
ऊंचे रहे जो तेरे कद से इरादे तो ये फलक मगरूर बेबस होके तेरे आगे दिखेगा मजबूर
ಎಂದರೆ ಕಷ್ಟವು ಸಹಜ ಛಲದಿ ಎದುರಿಸು ಗೆಲುವು ನಿಜ ಹೇ ಜೀವನ ಎಂದರೆ ಕಷ್ಟವು ಸಹಜ ಛಲದಿ ಎದುರಿಸು ಗೆಲುವು ನಿಜ ಸೋತರು ನಿಲ್ಲಬೇಡ ಸೋಲನ್ನು ನಂಬಬೇಡ ಇಂದಿನ ಸೋಲೆ ಮುಂದಿನ ಗೆಲುವಿಗೆ ಪಾಠ ಜೀವನ ಪಾಠ ನಿನ್ನಿಂದ ಆಗದು ಎಂದು ಹೇಳೋರು ಸೋಮಾರಿಗಳು ನಿನ್ನಲ್ಲಿಯೇ ದಾರಿ ಇದೆ ಬಾ ಹೆಜ್ಜೆ ಇಟ್ಟು ನೋಡು ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಸಮಯ ಸಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಜೀವನ ಇದು ಸುಲಭವಲ್ಲ ಆಟ ಆಡುತ್ತೆ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಸಮಯ ಸಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಜೀವನ ಇದು ಸುಲಭವಲ್ಲ ಆಟ ಆಡುತ್ತೆ
Be stronger than your strongest excuse. Just before sunrise, there is a dark night.
ಅನ್ಕೊಂಡು ಕುಂದುರೋದಲ್ಲ ಬೆವರಿಂದಲೇ ಸಿಗೋದು ಎಲ್ಲ ಅಪ್ಪನ ಹೆಸರಲ್ಲೇನಿಲ್ಲ ಟ್ಯಾಲೆಂಟೇ ಇಲ್ಲಿಗೆಲ್ಲ ಓಡು 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 ಮುಂದೆ 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 ಓಡು ಓಡು ಹಿಂದೆ ಹಿಂದೆ ನಿನ್ನ ದೇಶ ತಾಯಿ ತಂದೆ ಗುರು ನಿನ್ನ ಸ್ನೇಹವು ಓಡು 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 ಮುಂದೆ 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 ಓಡು ಹಿಂದೆ ಹಿಂದೆ ನಿನ್ನ ದೇಶ ತಾಯಿ ತಂದೆ ಗುರು ನಿನ್ನ ಸ್ನೇಹವು ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಸಮಯ ಸಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಜೀವನ ಇದು ಸುಲಭವಲ್ಲ ಆಟ ಆಡುತ್ತೆ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಸಮಯ ಸಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಜೀವನ ಇದು ಸುಲಭವಲ್ಲ ಆಟ ಆಡುತ್ತೆ
चलना बुझना बुझ के चलना मरना जीना मर के जीना मांगने वाली चीज नहीं है मौका उसका जिसने छीना गिरना उठना उठ के चलना चढ़ जा अंबर जीना जीना याद रहे ये शर्त सफर की पीछे मुड़ के देख कभी ना जीत का जुनू है तो हार सोचना क्यों जब जिंदगी है एक ही दो बार सोचना क्यों मैं परिंदा क्यों बनूं मुझे आसमां बनना है मैं एक बन्ना क्यों रहूं मुझे दास्तां बनना है मैं परिंदा क्यों बनूं मुझे आसमां बनना है अड़ी है ये धड़कने यही तो मजा है किया जो किसी ने नहीं हम करें कोई
Dear students, today is the day that I'm sure is full of mixed emotions, joy, pride, and a little bit of sadness. I see a lot of faces that were once tiny kindergartners, nervous and full of curiosity to learn. And my experience teaching you was nothing short of amazing. I'm so proud to see how much you have grown as individuals and only wish the best for each of you every step of the way. 20 years from now, you will be more disappointed by the things that you didn't do than by the ones you did. So don't be afraid to explore, to dream, and to discover your potential. On behalf of the management and staff of Sindhi High School, Hebbal, I extend a very warm welcome to all the graduating Sindhians.
Prayer is man's greatest power. It is an expression of gratitude addressed to God for the blessings received in plenty with utmost devotion and faith. The school choir will invoke the blessings of the Almighty.
ॐ गणानान्त्वा गणपतिगुं हवामहे कविं कवीनामुपमश्रवस्तमं ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणां ब्रह्मणस्पत आह्नः शृण्वन्नोतिभिः सीदसादनम्
Gurudevo
Thank you, dear students, for creating a heavenly atmosphere here. I'm sure your prayers will reach the Almighty and bless this beautiful occasion.
It is my privilege to introduce our esteemed chief guest, Sri Mahesh Batija, Managing Director and Head, Central Functions for India and Romania. Mr. Mahesh has a credible academic record, beginning with being a rank holder in BCom at Bangalore University 1988, All India Second in ICWA program 1989, and an All India rank holder in CFA program 1991 from the Institute of Chartered Financial Analysts of India. He is part of the Executive Committee at Society General Global Solution Center, a subsidiary and the IT and operations arm of Society General, a leading French and European bank. He has over 30 years of experience in banking, IT and operations, IT product development, advanced financial research and academics, and finance and accounting. He has also contributed to upskilling several thousand professionals in the banking industry in India by developing and launching 15 advanced academic finance programs for the Institute of Chartered Financial Analysts of India, and has also led one of their financial research centers.
May I now request our chairman, Shri Prakash R. Narang, to felicitate our chief guest with the floral memento. Thank you, sirs. May I request our Honorary Secretary, Shri Arun Rajani, to felicitate our special invitee, Lieutenant Commander Disha A. Ashra, an alumni of Sindhi High School, Kumara Kripa Road, with a floral memento. Thank you, sirs. Thank you, ma'am. To make this evening a blessed one, let us have the traditional lamp lighting ceremony. Let us invoke our goddess of knowledge, Ma Saraswati. May the darkness of ignorance be swept away by the dawn of self-realization. May the light be the symbol of brightness and prosperity in each of our lives. I request our principal, Mrs. Maitreya Satyadev, to escort the chief guest along with our president, Shri Sanjeev Atmaram, and other dignitaries to inaugurate the ceremony by lighting the lamp.
Ujaalo
Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. The Sindhi Seva Samiti has dedicated its effort in the field of education to equip students with the skills to achieve their potential and has opened the doors to immense progress. Our president, Sri Sanjeev Atmaram, is an exemplary leader who has the confidence to stand alone, the courage to make up decisions, and the compassion to listen to the needs of others. Sir, we kindly request you to address the gathering and inspire our young graduating students as they leave the portals of the school.
Inside, both of them. Center. Check. Distinguished Chief Guest of the Day, Mr. Mahesh Bhatija, respected past presidents of the Samiti, Chairman Prakash Narang, my colleague office bearers, Principal Mrs. Maitri Satyadev, Principal and executives of Sindhi Group of Educational Institutions, faculty, and above all, the graduating batch of 2023, my dear Sindhians. Good evening, namaskar, shubh sayankala. It is indeed a matter of pride and honor to address you on this momentous occasion of your life. At the outset, I would like to sincerely thank Mahesh Bhatija, a dear friend of mine, for having taken time out of his busy schedule and consenting to be chief guest, which I am sure is going to motivate all the students present here. I would be failing in my duty if I don't acknowledge the presence of our alumna, Lieutenant Commander Disha, who is an alumna of the Sindhi High School, KK Road, who is amongst us today. Welcome to you too, ma'am. I would only add one more phrase, may your tribe increase. Graduation is an emotional moment in every student's life. Although you have been in the campus for 13 to 15 long years, this journey suddenly looks very short and about to reach its destination. I am sure that bonding amongst your classmates and friends have been strong, and you will miss them through and through. My suggestion to all is, no matter in whichever career or profession you pursue in life and are engrossed in, stay connected with your batchmates. Family and relatives are predestined when we enter the universe. Friends are the ones we choose and who stand by us in our journey of life. You are fully prepared and have been sufficiently tutored and trained by your teachers to appear for your forthcoming board exams. Your teachers have put in the 100% to ensure that you go confidently into your exams and come out in flying colors. They are your gurus in every respect, and I request each one of you to stand up, please, for a minute. Students, could you please stand up? Kindly bow your heads in reverence to your teachers and give them a deserving round of applause. Can you continue to remain standing for another moment? I have another task for you. Your parents have seen to that you do your schooling in a reputed institution such as ours and sacrificed and studied hard to make you reach here. Namaskar with true hearts to them with folded hands. Thank you. You may remain seated. I am confident that you will continue your education further, and for this, let me assure you, for the outgoing 10th standard students, your campus doors are always open for you to pursue the 11th and 12th under the CBSE syllabus. And for those interested in pre-university syllabus, our campus at Tanisandra will be more than ready to welcome you. There are 3 P's I want you to keep in mind when you pursue your goals in life. The first P I am referring to is persistence. Unless you put in your 100% in whatever you aspire to be or become, it will be difficult to achieve. Without being deterred or demotivated by the circumstances around you, you move ahead towards your goal. When you start cutting a huge rock, it may take the 100th attempt to finally break it. But that does not mean the first to the 99 attempts are half-hearted. The perseverance in each of these attempts will result in the success of the 100th attempt. Any career of your choice or anything you want to achieve in life, you have to keep trying again and again. Students, I know you are all well versed with the technology and the social media. I will ask you a very small question which you need to answer very frankly. How many of you have heard about the mountain man of India called Dasrat Manji? Please raise a hand. Parents, have you all heard of Dasrat Manji? Great. It makes my task easier. Dasrat Manji, also known as Mountain Man, was an Indian laborer from Gailor village near Gaya in the state of Bihar. When his wife died in 1959 due to an injury caused by falling from a mountain and due to the same mountain blocking easy access to a nearby hospital in time, he decided to carve a 110 meter long, 9.1 meter wide and a 7.7 meter deep path through a ridge of hills using only a hammer and a chisel. After 22 years of hard work, Dashat shortened travel time between the Atri and the Wazirganj blocks of Gaya district from 55 kilometers to 15 kilometers. This he believed in himself and worked towards it, although it was a difficult and Herculean task. This is called persistence. His efforts were recognized both by the center and by the then Chief Minister of Bihar, Nitish Kumar, and also a famous movie has been made on this. The second P I am referring to is positive attitude. When you face towards the sun and walk, your shadow is behind you and does not bother you. Similarly, when we approach your objective or aim without being influenced by negative vibes from the people around you, success will be yours. I am reminded of a small story here. 4 frogs accidentally fell into a deep well and were struggling to stay afloat. The other frogs outside the well kept demotivating the trapped frogs that they will not be able to come out of the well. It is too deep, you will not be able to climb up, fatigue will come in, ultimately you have to give up, with all the comments being passed, in their language of course. Hearing all this, 3 of the frogs stopped thinking positively and got drowned. The 4th frog, however, came out successfully. The other frogs were surprised, but little did they know that the frog was deaf and hence did not get demotivated. Similarly, many around you will tell you your aim is not achievable. You also have to behave like the deaf frog and move on unaffected. This may be regarding scoring high marks, cracking a CET, any NEET exam, JEE, CA exam, or any such difficult profession you may choose in life. The third P I am referring to is passion. At your teenage, you are not very clear as to what career or course you would like to pursue. Your parents and relatives will also channelize your choice, but remember, it is you and you alone who has to take the final decision. If you are interested in cooking, express your feelings openly to your parents and tell them that you would be a better chef than Sanjeev Kapoor. If you want to be a cricketer, aspire to be a Virat Kohli or Shubman Gill or like Venkatesh Iyer. Venkatesh Iyer plays for the Calcutta Knight Riders in the IPL. He was a CA and an MBA graduate who was offered an 8 lakh per annum job at Deloitte, which he refused and was later offered 8 crores per year from his team owners. Venkatesh Iyer firmly believed in his passion of becoming a cricketer and went about it practicing day and night till he got his due recognition. Whatever you choose, don't give it a half-hearted attempt, as it will lead you nowhere. Follow your passion instinctively and give it your best. I would like to share some interesting trivia about the stream of education, the CBSE, which you have chosen. Only 11% of class 10 students of CBSE and ICSE in Karnataka state get 48% of the MBBS seats, whereas SSLC students who formed 89% of the student population writing their 10th exam got only 49% of the seats. Out of the 4,530 MBBS government quota seats, SSLC students filled 2,206 seats, and CBSE ICSE students filled 2,186 seats. Such is the quality of education you have been imparted, which ensures success with due concentration. Only 9% class 3 rural students can read class 2 English books. The impact due to the closure of the schools due to COVID-19 has painted a dismal picture in reading among children in rural Karnataka. Similarly, 7% of class 5 students in rural Karnataka could solve an arithmetic problem of class 3. This information is being shared with you not to point out the lacuna in government schools, but to highlight that you are fortunate enough to study in an urban school. Always count your blessings. I will now read out a pledge which you will recite after me. Can you stand up and raise your right hand, please? Can we have the pledge on the screen? Can you have the pledge? You start. Sindhians of SSS. Stay march to the rhythm of time. With dignity and pride. In you we see a torch bearer. Of the wishes we hold dear. Of the values we hold dear. Keep the flame burning bright. As you take giant confident strides. Dear Indians, make your life sublime. Love in your heart, clarity in mind. Holding the Indian flag high. Soaring upward to the limitless sky. Thank you, Mr. Law. Pursue excellence in life, and success will ultimately chase you. Wishing you all success for your exams and in all your endeavors for now and the future. As the Nike advertisement says, go ahead and just do it.
Sure that your promising and encouraging words will surely guide every student to their success, ensuring that they perform their best and strive for excellence.
School is a second home for all students. Some of our graduating students of today began their journey within the colorful walls of Sindhi High School, Hebbal, with their sparkling imagination and willingness to learn. The school has provided both opportunities and challenges, giving them the ability to push the limits as students and individuals. It has made them happy and given them friends and memories to carry with them for the rest of their lives. Suruchi Agarwal of Class 12B will now take us down the memory lane into the beautiful experiences that shaped her journey in this esteemed institution.
With dreams in our eyes, with aspiration in our hearts, we step out of this building, this home that taught us to conquer destiny. It's time to say goodbye. But I think goodbyes are sad, and I'd much rather say hello. Hello to a new adventure. A hearty welcome to our esteemed chief guest, Shri Mahesh Bhadija sir, our president, Sanjeev Atmaram sir, our chairman, Shri Prakash R. Narang sir, and a team of office bearers of Sindhi High School, Hebbal. Respected principal, Maitri Satyadev ma'am, vice principal, Rachna Sharma ma'am, and Chitralekha P ma'am, and all the other dignitaries present here. Dear teachers, proud parents, graduates, along with our staff and support staff, thanking them for their persistence and for making this bittersweet, painful, yet nostalgic graduation day ceremony possible with their tireless commitment and hard work. We never thought this day would come. We prayed for its quick delivery, crossed days of our calendars, counted hours, minutes, and seconds, and now that it's here, I'm sorry it is, because it means leaving friends who inspire me and teachers who've been my mentors. So many people who've shaped my life impermeably and forever. Congratulations, graduates. We have done it. We've come this far. We have come this far, despite the tough times in our journey these last 18 years. Recently, I've been thinking about time and how it flies by, like it was just yesterday when I stepped foot into this brilliant school. And now I'm standing at this podium to deliver a farewell speech on behalf of all the students. I am immensely grateful to have been presented with the opportunity to stand here and convey the blast of emotions each one of my friends and I are currently feeling on parting with this place where some of us have grown up, had a cry, shared a laugh, discovered our potential, made important connections, been through ups and downs alongside our teachers who knew exactly how to encourage us, who taught us about strength, hard work, determination, and patience, and who always made us feel at comfort. As I think about my school experience, I think about the morning assemblies where we mumbled out our school prayer sleepily, violated the school dress code, and forgot to bring our diaries, or proudly applauding for our classmates' achievements. I look back on the time when we used to gossip till the next teacher came by, all the times we looked for an excuse to run to the PT ground, especially on the sports day. The many times we lurked around the corridors, aimlessly asking our teachers for recess just to get out of the boring lecture and to go see our friends from different classes. I look back on how we requested our teachers to end the class a little early so we could have a bit of free time. The way we were excited about the annual day, the costumes, the props, for which we even put our studies at halt. The way we were filled with zeal on hearing the news that a teacher was absent on that day. Our phase of online education was a bizarre experience, although somehow we managed to escape class on account of internet jam to go watch our movies or chat along with friends and laugh between classes. In the midst of all the strolling and countless times we were absentee attendees, we managed to adapt to this new norm and complete our syllabus, our teachers being a ray of hope and encouragement. It also brought the tech savviness to the phone, from blackboards and chalk to screen sharing on a laptop. When sometimes they faced an internet issue, we joked around. We can never forget how our PT teachers pushed us to try out different activities when we made an excuse to sit in class. And the times we got lost in a novel in the library, while most of us whiled away the time gossiping and our teacher telling us to remain quiet. Now as we reminisce these treasured and beautiful moments, it all seems worth it, doesn't it? As we yearn to live through these moments again. From alphabets and numbers to algebra and carbon compounds, our teachers have taught us all. I would like to thank all the graduates, my friends who started this journey with me and who I have the best memories of my life with. From seeing them on the first day, anticipating who to sit next to working together in these four walls, doing experiments in labs, gossiping, sporting, and making connections we will always cherish. There's absolutely no way we could have survived without each other. Last but not the least, parents. You're probably wondering where the years have gone as you hear your sons' and daughters' accomplishments. It doesn't seem that long ago when we, young adults, were toddling off to kindergarten. On behalf of all the graduates, I would like to say that you've been a priceless blessing in our lives. Now we extend our sincere thanks to the untiring admin staff. I call upon Mr. Kailash K. Kaldro, sir, to accept a bouquet of gratitude on behalf of all the admin staff. I request Rochit S. Putani of Class 12B and Shreya Badagar of 10A to hand over the bouquet. Let's have a huge round of applause appreciating their unwavering efforts. Now, I would like to call upon Srimati Tulasi N to accept a bouquet of gratitude on behalf of all the support staff, thanking them for their persistent and tireless efforts. I request Shivam Tiwari of 12A and Sanvi Raj of 10B to hand over the bouquet. We would like to thank the whole team for being someone we can always count on. Our heartfelt gratitude. Before I sign off, I would like to share a few things that the school has taught me, which is to always remember that the pain you feel today will be replaced with the strength you need tomorrow. And that every ounce of pain you feel today is building a stronger you, a stronger body, a stronger mind, and a stronger character. So graduates, let's push through the pain, follow our dreams, be successful, and make the school proud. Because we all must remember that within us lies a hidden talent, and at the school, we've been given a platform to don various roles. In the end, I would like to say that no matter where life takes us, we will always be proud to say that we were once a part of this wholesome school, Sindhi High School. So dear Sindhians, take pride on how far we have come and have faith in how far we can go. As our motto for today stands, determined minds, endless possibilities. Thank you. Signing off, Suruchi Agarwal.
Thank you, Suruchi, for sharing your wonderful experiences. Every child deserves a champion and an adult who will never give up on them, who understands the power of connection and insists that they become the best they can possibly be. We have with us today Mrs. Smita M., parent of Varchas Jasti of Class 10B. Mrs. Smita has worked in a corporate world for close to 12 years before she decided to take a break from a full-time job. She is currently associated with Vivekananda Kendra, spiritually oriented service organization, where she contributes towards man-making and nation-building activities. May I request Mrs. Smita to address the gathering as a parent representative and share her thoughts.
Good evening, everyone. Suruchi, first of all, I must tell you, your speech was absolutely wonderful. It just brought a smile on our faces, just hearing all the memories. Brought back, I think, our school days and all, our college days too. And I don't know how you managed to phrase it so beautifully. I don't think we could have, I could have done any justice, right? So beautifully worded. Thank you. It was very refreshing to hear you and your experiences. And all the heroes for today, all the heroines and heroes for today, you all look absolutely brilliant. It's hard to miss the spark on your faces. And your eyes, they just seem like the windows of the future. Endless possibilities in all of you. So thank you, first of all, for giving me an opportunity to share my experience with the Sindhi school. I decided to script my speech because I was quite positive that I'm going to be very overwhelmed today, and I didn't want to go on and on. Okay? Success is the sum of small efforts repeated day in and day out, said Robert Collier, an American author. I say if nurturing young minds into mature individuals is not success, then what is? Respected chief guest, Shri Mahesh Bhatija, Lieutenant Disha, Lieutenant Commander Disha, what a pride it is to see you. The President of Sindhi Seva Samiti, Shri Sanjeev Atmaram, members of the Sindhi Seva Samiti and the management, dignitaries of the Sindhi Seva Samiti, Principal of Sindhi High School, Hebbal, Srimati Maitri Satyadevji, Vice Principals, Srimati Rachna Sharma and Srimati Chitralekha, dear teachers, parents, and all the wonderful children here. I'm really feeling, very privileged to be here in front of you today to share the experience that I've had with Sindhi High School. It seems just like, I very vividly remember bringing my child to the school, waiting for the teacher interaction, and I was just hoping back then that this school would give the firm foundation to my child. And today I say with confidence that I could not have made a better choice. Based on my understanding, there are three things that every parent will look for when deciding on a school, right? We think of education, we think about commitment, and we think about the opportunities that it'll bring. In terms of education, yes, at the outset we think about the syllabus, we think about, what's the academic record of the school, etc. But I think there are several other aspects which is so important so that the students stay focused. Swami Vivekananda said, if education is identical with information, the libraries are the greatest sages in the world and the encyclopedias are the rishis. It goes on to say that education is so much more than merely knowledge confined to the books. Education is about awakening the curiosity in every child. It is about encouraging them to know and appreciate their role in the society. It is about nurturing in them a sense of pride towards their country. Education is about encouraging students to think big and work towards it with diligence. In this sense, Sindhi High School continues to excel in educating children in the truest sense. As parents, we often discuss that it's not easy to be parenting the current generation because they are bombarded with so much of information from various sources, and then all these information that they keep gathering from different sources start becoming garbled messages, and these garbled messages start shaping their actions and thoughts. As parents, we try to keep pace with our children. We try to understand what's going on in their lives. And once we realize that, probably they are taking a wrong path or they have some incorrect habits or influences, we try to work in partnership with the children to bring them back on the right path. But another partnership that I've heavily depended on through the years is the partnership I've had with the teachers. Many a times I've thanked teachers who have encouraged the child for good work, and I've been equally or more thankful when they've strictly conveyed to my child that certain behaviors are unacceptable. I see in each of these teachers a commitment towards inculcating discipline and values in the children. I also saw them put in tremendous amount of commitment and effort to adapt to the new models of teaching during COVID. Teachers, thank you all for your commitment and partnership through all these years. I know this sounds scripted, but from the bottom of my heart, I would like to express my gratitude to each of you. Sports Day, Annual Day, walkathons to raise awareness about the environment, Independence Day, Republic Day, Feel Alive Hours, Olympiads, Scouts and Guides, inter-school matches, inter-school competitions. The school has provided so many opportunities to children to celebrate their strengths. On this day, I take this opportunity to acknowledge the contribution of Sindhi High School towards shaping my child into a mature individual. To every student out there, I wish you the very best. Think big and work hard. Have faith in yourselves no matter what. Our president gave wonderful message about the deaf frog, right? I think many a times we have to turn deaf to criticisms, right? Take time to make your decisions, and once you decide, stay committed to it, right? People may say several things. You may feel several things blocking you. Maybe the path you thought is not really happening. You're not able to take the path. But always remember at those times, don't lose hope. Don't take any kind of adverse steps. Just remember there are multiple paths towards the same goal. Keep your mind open and knock different doors. Okay, that's very, very important. So have faith in yourselves. No matter what, you all will definitely succeed. And for all the parents out there, I'd like to quote the beautiful sentence by Rita Pearson, a famous professional educator. She said, "Every child deserves a champion, an adult who will never give up on them, who understands the power of connection and insists that they become the best that they can possibly be." Let us all be that champion in our child's life. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for your kind words. Kindly accept a memento as a token of our appreciation. I request our principal, Mrs. Maitri Satyadev, to do the honors. Thank you, ma'am. I take this opportunity to thank all the parents for their enormous support and faith in us.
Nothing stops the man who desires to achieve. Every obstacle is simply a course to develop his achievement muscle. It's a strengthening of his powers of accomplishment. It is indeed a proud moment to have amongst us Lieutenant Commander Disha A. Ashra, an alumni of Sindhi High School, Kumarakripar Road. She is a Naval Air Operations Officer, part of the Naval Aviation, qualified on Dornier aircraft. She completed her schooling from KK Road in 2008 and thereafter pursued PCME in Mount Carmel College. After completing her engineering from MS Ramaya Institute of Technology, she worked as a software engineer in Capgemini for a year. Not liking the mundane life of a software engineer, she chose to join the armed forces as a Naval Air Operations Officer. She successfully completed the course in 2017, where she secured first in overall order of merit and stood first in flying. Post-completion of training, she has served in various frontline squadrons of the Indian Navy. She also has the distinction of being the first Indian Naval Dornier woman combatant to be deputed abroad for flying duties when she was deputed to Maldives. Over 350 hours were flown by Lieutenant Commander Disha A. Ashra towards surveillance and medical evacuation missions at Maldives. She has a total flying experience of 1,200 hours and is currently posted at the integrated headquarters of Ministry of Defense in Delhi.
She was recently felicitated as a woman achiever in the field of aviation from Indian Navy at Aero India Seminar 2023, organized by DRDO, ISRO, and AESI. She is happily married to Lieutenant Commander Vivek Chand Rajput, who is an IT officer in the Indian Navy. Ma'am, we request you to kindly say a few words to our young graduating students.
Respected principal and all the esteemed members of the Sindhi Seva Committee and parents, teachers and dear students. A very good evening to one and all present here. It is such an overwhelming feeling for me to come here on a graduation day to address students of my alma mater. So I think I need a minute to just calm myself, gather my thoughts and then address the gathering. Everybody is looking fantastic. I remember my 10th graduation. I was wearing a sari for the first time in my life. So I'm sure all the ladies, all the lovely girls here, and the boys were looking so dapper in their traditional attire. I must compliment you all. And I know what the parents also might be feeling. My parents are here. So it is such a wonderful feeling that you would be having. Your children are accomplishing something. They are meeting one milestone. And so congratulations to all. So my association with Sindhi High School, I would just like to take you all to a journey which I had with this school. I remember the first time that we had a library class and we entered the library for the first time and I got fascinated with all the books and everything and I could not pick any book. So my teacher just came to me. It was Veena ma'am. And she just gave me an Oliver Twist. The book, my first book which I read was the Oliver Twist and I just fell in love with books. So my love for books, my love for reading comes from this school. And after that there was no looking back. Whatever books were there in the library, I was an avid reader and I tried to read as much as I could. And sports days, I was given the opportunity to become the greenhouse captain. It's called the Tagore House in Keko Road. So the sports day was very memorable for all of us. And the annual day, we had a show called Annie, which happened here at the this very ground, at this very stage. So that was also one of the most memorable experience that we had with our classmates and everybody. Every annual day, we were looking forward to all the annual days. We had the Ramayan, then we had the fusion dances, and all these things just kept coming up, one event after the other. And all we had was a great ball of a time. And teaching was also very systematic and everything happened in flow. And I don't remember ever struggling with my studies when it came to my education system and everything that happened here. And after I finished my school, I did my engineering. And after completing my engineering, in my campus placements, I got placed in a multinational company. I worked about a year and it was a normal techie job. I was a software engineer. So 9 to 5, I was sitting on my desk doing coding. I could not understand coding. So my heart was not in it. So I wanted to do something different. And at the back of my mind, I had something that I want to make some difference for this country. So that is how I ended up studying and preparing for joining the armed forces. And I did not have any preference of Army, Navy, Air Force, or whether I want to fly or whatever. So I was very open. I just wanted to join the armed forces and be in a uniform. So by God's grace, we got selected. And I had an option between being in an education branch in the Navy and being in the aviation part. So, of course, I chose being an aviator. And my parents were a little skeptical. They're like, you want to fly, it's going to be very risky. But they were nonetheless extremely supportive. They told me, do what makes you happy. So that is the message I give you all also. Do what makes you happy. So I got selected in the Navy, joined the training process. So when you are training, the counterparts that you're training with, like how you call your dear friends, your classmates, we call them our course mates. So our course mates are like our family. Our seniors and juniors are like our family, because we are away from our family when we are serving the nation. So our course mates are someone that we always lean on to during our difficult times and our happy times. So this is one more message which I would like to give you, that please do not forget your classmates. They are going to hold your hand in thick and thin. When you're 16, when you're 18, you would not know what you want to do. I was also through the same phase as to what should I do when I grow up? How am I supposed to know? I'm just a 16-year-old. So that is okay. But with the technology, you also have a lot of option of reading up. So what you can do is you can read up, you can talk to each other, you can talk to your seniors, and that is how you'll get to know what your interest is, and whatever interest you get, you stick to it, and again, if that makes you happy, is what you continue with. So during my service, I got an opportunity to even serve abroad. So I was given the opportunity to go to Maldives, where we had the interaction with the Maldivian National Defense Force. We served on board with them in their airfield. We operated with them. We flew with them. We sat with them. We ate with them. So that was a very different experience for me. And that is something that if anybody would want to join, is what you would get. That is the kind of exposure that you get when you join the armed forces. So I would not bore you all with more of my stories. And I would just like to wrap up and say all the very best to all the kids here. And you all are looking fantastic. And your future is also going to be fantastic. So what you have to do is just do what makes you happy. And I think I would like to end it with a bang and ask you, how's the Josh? How's the Josh? Okay, thank you.
Open sea. No 2 days are the same. Change is constant. New challenges emerge. The sea is a hard taskmaster. And extraordinary is every day. The Indian Navy responds swiftly, charting new horizons, finding new solutions, being extraordinary every ordinary day. For the Indian Navy, a combat-ready, credible, and cohesive force, it is always business unusual.
Thank you, ma'am, for sharing your memories of school and for your encouraging words. I'm sure every student here will work towards their dreams and goals that makes them happy. We request you to kindly accept a memento as a token of our love and appreciation. I request our honorary treasurer, Shri Kiran S. Chawla, to kindly do the honors. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir. We have an impromptu speaker, father of Sri Vidya of 12B, Dr. R.R. Venkatesh Prasad, Associate Professor, Embedded and Networking Systems. Over to you, sir.
Good evening. I'm not going to take more time. I didn't want my name or my daughter's name to be told here, but anyway, it's been told. As a parent, I'm trying to represent all of you. Hopefully, I'll make justice to all of you. And the other thing is that I got a little bit of Josh seeing the madam. I was selected for Air Force when I finished my engineering, but I went on to something else. I work as an associate professor at Technical University of Delft in the Netherlands, and I commute back and forth. And for your information, Delft University this year in the rankings of engineering studies is in the top 10. And most of my students, they are all from India. And most of my PhD students, about 20 of them, majority are from India, and my master students, and lots of patents that we have done, they're all Indian students. It looks very funny, but I get fantastic students from India when I'm abroad. I think this is something that we can change with all of you here. So you can contribute, including myself. I would also like to come back to India, and actually I'm trying to do things back and forth in India and as well as in the Netherlands, connecting Indian universities also with the top school there. The way that we teach is different. And that's what I want to tell you, all the students. The failure is not when you get less score in your examinations. For us, in the university, the things that we follow is that the failure is when you stop trying. So make sure that you never stop trying, and if you're moving ahead, that's something that you do. Very important for your life. And I'm sticking my neck out, and then I also try to make a prophecy here that in 15 years' time, maybe you can come back and then tell me later, in 15 years, what you learn here in the school is going to matter rather than the certificates or the marks card. Nobody asks me what I have done and what is my marks. And in this gathering, I'm telling you openly, I failed in my engineering subject 4 times in 4 subjects. But I'm able to stand here and then speak to all of you. So it is not that I bog down. Maybe there are some reasons. You will always try to find some reasons why you fail. But that's not important. The important thing is that I kept on trying. The second aspect that I would like to tell you is that never forget your parents. It is not because your parents require you tomorrow, but maybe you require your children in your life later. This is something very important that we have to think about. My father is a postmaster. He gets his pension, and in fact, he also gives the money to run the house, even now, at the age of 81. So it is not that he needs us, but actually I need him much more, because every small failure that makes me weak, I go to him, and then I ask him. He says, why do you work outside? Alone, staying alone, living alone, come back. I am there with you. This is the confidence that a parent gives, so never forget that. Make sure, I hope I can take three more points, madam. So make sure that you try to keep doing something. I have some issues with my medical aspect, my health and other things. So what I do is that I embed a bit of exercises when I do prayers morning and in the evening. So what you can do is keep something which you think is important as a habit. So Indian culture embedded lots of good practices within our life. Try to identify that. When we go outside, people will tell us best practices, and then we all respect it. But in our house, when we hand over a knife or a heavy object, at least in Kannada we say bidtu. So that means I'm leaving. It's a simple best practice such that you be aware of taking something which is heavy. If it falls down on your legs, it's going to hurt you. Very simple thing, simple best practice, but we don't identify, and then we see that, this is something which is a useless tradition. No. If a person outside in Netherlands, when they do best practices, when they tell best practices, we respect. So keep these things, whatever that you learn from your parents, intact. And this is something that you can change your life altogether. The other aspect is that, including my daughter and my niece and nephews and my brothers, all are here in Bangalore. We have planted and taken care of 150 trees. They are all above my height now in the last 10 years. In the heart of Bangalore, about 5 kilometers from here. So you can bring a change. We don't use fan in our house now, even during the summer. So you can bring a change. It is slow, but it will take you to a really nice place in your life later. And something that I hold very important is that very foremost thing is that nation is the first thing in our life. Without this country, we are not going to be anyone who is going to be respected. Make sure that nation is important. The next thing is the culture. That is very important, that you carry your traditions. I felt so happy that this school is teaching so much and then making students grounded in this culture. I'm so happy about it. And then the learning, whatever that you learned here, that's going to help. A small tip for your examinations is that when you see or when you practice your questions, papers, and things like that, just look at the question and then think how I can ask the same question in a different way. Just spend few seconds on that. I will tell you, you are going to score really, really high marks with this. And what you learned here during this high school and then pre-university, this is something that you really take it in your life really to a long way. This is my experience. All my patents that we have, approximately about 10 of them, they all come from very simple physics and mathematics that we learned, including chemistry, which I've forgotten, that I learned during my 10th standard and 12th standard. And that is what actually gave me lots of nice insights to improve the things that we do in my career. That's something that you need to take it forward. So I hope I did justice to all of you parents, representing you all. I did not prepare this speech at all. If I have made some mistakes, please forgive me. And I wish you all the best. Keep faith in your guru. They are all here. And then take their blessings. Nobody will stop you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir, for your words of motivation for our graduating students. I request our principal ma'am to kindly do the honors of giving a green memento to our speaker. May I now call upon our chief guest, Shri Mahesh Bhatija, to share a few words, ideas, and thoughts with our young graduating students.
Good evening, all. I know I'm probably coming after very, very illustrious personalities and speakers. I will try and do justice to the students and the audience, hopefully. Not being a very experienced speaker, like I think the parents, Smita said before me, I've made an effort to try and script it. It's the first time trying something scripted. And let's see how it goes. Respected President, sir. Respected Chairman, sir. Principal, ma'am. Lieutenant Commander Disha. All the committee members, faculty members, parents, and most of all, graduating students. It is really an honor to be here at this occasion, which we are really, it's an occasion to celebrate the fact that all of you students are soon going to graduate from this institution. You're going to complete your 10th standard, your 12th standard. It's that moment when parents call it, the bird's wings are now strong enough to fly. Some of you will leave this institution. Some of you who have finished 12th could even leave the city, but each of y'all has something very bright ahead. So dear students, I know you've heard very illustrious speakers, and again, be it Surachi, who went first, and I can say very, very eloquent speaker. Whether it is, I may get some of the names wrong, the parent who came after, I think, Smita ma'am, and of course, Lieutenant Commander Disha, who has actually literally given you all wings to fly. She's actually given you all the strength and courage to take off and fly. She's kind of built the runway for you all. And if that doesn't inspire you, honestly, I don't think any of us can. So hats off to her. I'm going to try, and for the students again, most of my speech is addressed to you all. So sorry parents, but most of my speech is addressed to them. Today is really your day. It's really, really your day. This occasion, this event is all about you. How many of you are feeling completely relaxed? And how many of you are feeling completely stressed? Parents, we have a job to do. So it's your day. Don't have to feel stressed. There's nothing wrong you can do today. It's one of those days you'll be forgiven anything. So relax, okay? I'll of course say a few things. I think the President, sir, when he invited me, did tell me that I should try to share some of my experiences and my thoughts. Some of it will make sense. Some of it will be like that favorite difficult subject each of us has. Formula from chemistry, differentiation from mathematics, etc. Bear with me. I hope if I can leave one idea in your mind, I would have done my job for today. So I'm going to start with one statement, and if you agree with that statement, you have to respond like you responded to Disha when she asked you, how's the Josh? Those who agree have to respond to that. Okay? The statement I'm going to make is, each of you is definitely going to come out on tops. In your own way, in your own field, each of you is going to be coming out on top of that field which you select. I think, Sanjeev, my job is done. I think we need to believe them that they are going to come out on top. There's no doubt about it. Coming back to now the more formal part of my speech, because I was truly inspired by all the speakers before, and I thought I had to say some of that. For the students, the world you're about to enter is like every time going through tremendous change. And change comes with possibilities, comes with opportunities, and sometimes come with challenges. All around us, we are seeing tremendous advances in technology. How many of you students have heard of and tried ChatGPT? How many of the parents have heard of and tried ChatGPT? Equal numbers. So I think we all understand where we are heading, right? I'm not going to ask the committee members that. I will let the committee members evaluate themselves. How about cryptocurrencies? Everybody's heard about it. How about blockchain? Okay. So all around us, technology is coming, and technology is changing things, including some fantastic stuff, Instagram, OTT, TikTok, right? A lot of interesting stuff is happening. What do you think you all are going to do with Instagram? What are you all going to use it for? I hope every speaker before me said, these are your friends. Whatever else you do with Instagram, I hope you're going to use it to stay in touch with your friends, right? Don't forget that part. I said it's a year of, what is coming ahead is change, right? And I'm trying to give you my view of what I see the next 10, 20 years as, the change coming, the opportunity for y'all, and I hope each of y'all will make the most, make us proud, but reach where you said you will, tops in your field, in the field you are comfortable with, in what you want to do. The other change that's coming around us is how human life is evolving, how human care is evolving. The vaccine for the pandemic, everybody's heard about the pandemic. The vaccine for the pandemic was developed in how many months? How many months do you think it took us to develop the vaccine for the pandemic? Anybody? More than a year? Less than a year, right? Before that, the previous vaccines developed took anywhere between 3 to 10 years to develop. We could now develop it in less than 8 months because of the advances of technology, but also because of the need of humanity, right? You take life expectation. Around the time when most of you were born, the average life expectation in India was 62 years. The average life expectation today is 70 years. It will go on to be in the next few years 75 years, which is great. All of us will live longer. All of you will have that much longer to impact us. But it will also mean it's that much more you have to think about staying fit in all aspects. Somebody said take care of your body, mind, physically, mentally, everything, right? So we have to do that. But it's also opportunities which we will have ahead of how we will contribute to this increasing life expectancy. The third change I see, so we talked about technology, we talked about human life. The third change I really see is, and this is a favorite of mine, personal favorite of mine, and I hope each of you will think about it. The environment, sustainability, right? The speed at which we are going of polluting, of emitting carbon is all-time high. Let me ask the students questions. You know, I've never been a teacher, madam, so principal, madam, so it's my one chance to ask some questions to the students, right? So, in terms of pollution, carbon, which are the countries you think which pollute the maximum in the world? US, China. Did I hear India? How many of you believe India is one of the highest polluters in the world? Okay, sorry, I'm going to ask parents that question. How many of you believe India is one of the highest polluters in the world? Okay, so let me share one statistic with you all, right? You have to count carbon, you have to talk pollution in terms of carbon. Carbon and all those, you know, gases which are causing a lot of impact on the environment. And carbon per capita, per person, carbon emission is measured in metric tons. Just keep that in mind, metric tons. Some of you know what metric tons is and better than I know, right? Countries, a lot of countries in the Middle East, they have a lot of petroleum available. They generate approximately 20 tons of carbon per person per year. 20 tons. Clear? 20 tons. You all are with me so far? USA, Australia, etc., 15 tons per person per year. Still with me? Students, still with me? What about India, you all think? How many tons per person? I've told you Middle East, lot of petrol available, 20. US, Australia, 15. India? 25, somebody says? 20. Okay, the correct answer as measured for 2021, 1.8. Not because we don't pollute a lot. We pollute a lot because of our population. Per person, this is fact. What I'm stating is fact. Per person, we are at 1.8. In the next 15 years, if we live like everybody else does on the planet without being conscious, we will also be at 15. No doubt about it. No doubt. And when India moves to 15, the world is doomed with our population. Good transition to my next topic, population. Opportunity change. I'm still on my theme of change. Opportunity, change, challenge. Population. Population of the world will reach 9 million people. Which is the most populated country in the world today? Thank you. 1.4 billion. I'm not yet used to it. I'm saying 1.4 million. 1.4 billion people. How many of these 1.4 billion people are people who belong to what United Nations, etc., calls the working age? How much of 1.4 billion, percentage number, take any guess. 1.4 billion is our population. How many of them are working age? I'll give you a clue. As per that definition, all of you are of working age. 70%, fantastic guess, 68%, 950 million people are of working age in India. So whoever gave that correct answer, principal ma'am, I let you take care. But what that means, just think of the opportunity you all have. 950 million people in India are of working age, which is more than, compared to that, the total population of United States, one of the most favorite countries in India, is 300 million. Total population, old, young, newborn, is 300 million. Working population in United States is probably 150 to 200 million. We have 950 million people who are of working age. The world will look on us. The world will look on us for both being the labor force of the future and being the talent of today. Let's take a quick poll among the students. Which companies do you know of where the CEOs of Indian origin? Which companies you know? Google? Did I hear Google? Microsoft? Yesterday's news? Anybody knows yesterday's news? YouTube. Non-IT companies. Companies you all don't follow. Any companies? Tata, yes, but Tata is a kind of Indian company. It's a massive Indian company. Air India has placed an order for $80 billion worth of airlines. So it's obviously a massive Indian company. But international companies, can you think of any others where there are Indian CEOs? So there are, outside of IT also, companies like Chanel, perfumes, right? Companies like MasterCard, your parents will know. MasterCard, credit cards, right? The CEOs are Indian. So India is the source of talent, and India is the source of the labor force for the future, at least till 2050. At least till 2050. Because by 2050, Africa as a continent, which is 30 countries, will start reaching our population. Till then, we are the source of talent. And who's at the spearhead of this talent pool? Parents, who's at the spearhead of this talent pool? Those of us in our 50s? I guess not. So who's at the spearhead of this talent pool? The definition of working age is 16 to 64 years of age. How many of you all are above 16 years of age in the student population? You all are at the starting of that curve. You all are at the starting of that curve, and you all are the ones who are the future. You all are the ones who are going to make that difference. So yes, the world ahead brings a lot of change. The world ahead will bring a lot of challenge. But really for you, the world ahead will bring a lot of opportunity, and a long opportunity, next 30, 40 years, right? You all will have opportunities to build careers. I've heard several people say select what you want to do and do what appeals to you, right? And I'll come back to that. I'll come back to that part. But select what appeals to you, right? Careers will range from technology and innovation. We discussed about it. Media. How many of you want to grow up to be social media influencers or social circle influencers? They earn a lot, huh? They earn a lot, so why not? We have in India 1.4 billion people, 950 million people of working age, but we probably have 400 million students to teach, including them. But this will be the situation for us for the next 30, 40 years. Many of you could become educators. Today, I don't know whether that's the field you all want to think about, but in 5, 6 years, many of us could become educators. We could go into food technology. We could go into agriculture distribution, because by 2050, feeding 9 billion people on this planet is not going to be easy. We could go into mental health. I know it's a topic which is not discussed enough, but I know the younger people think a lot about it. We could go into mental health. It's a great career opportunity. We could go into biotech. We could go into healthcare. We could go into ethics and governance. The last one is a complicated one, but as you grow up, you heard a lot about people saying stick to your values, right? And values are the foundation, which is about ethics and governance. ChatGPT we spoke about, artificial intelligence we've spoken about. One of the biggest risks of artificial intelligence is the ethics part, right? It's a proven fact, I won't name the company. One of the very, very well-known companies, which all of us use at least once a week today. Everybody in this audience uses once a week at least today. For at least 5 years, was not recruiting women because their artificial intelligence was not trained correctly. So you have to think about ethics, you have to think about governance, right? All of that are career options for all of you, right? And finally, when you think about career opportunities, I encourage both the boys and the girls, the young adults. It is really, really important we think of it as an equal opportunity world out there. It is really important of equal opportunity out there. For every Virat Kohli, there is a Smriti Mandhana. Keep that in mind, right? For boys, do I hear you all clap? Boys, do I hear you all clap? For every Virat Kohli, there is a Smriti Mandhana. I am proud of the fact that, it's a very small gesture, but I'm proud of the fact that BCCI, the Cricket Control Board of India, has introduced equal pay for men and women. I'm proud of it. And it's important we build that into our culture and ethos. We build that into your aspiration. You've heard from the Lieutenant Commander starting as a techie and then going on to flying. We've heard of the parent who spoke just before me, who studied engineering, and now went on to become a professor, where most of his students in Netherlands are coming from India. And that brings me to another point he spoke about, which was quite interesting, but I'll cover that later. He spoke about he failed in certain exams, and I'll come back to you all for that, right? But what I would like to really keep in mind is, as young adults, each of you will take diverse paths. You all will all go in your own direction. You will find your own directions for yourself, right? You will have the opportunity to gain new knowledge, create new knowledge, gain new knowledge and create new knowledge. And you will have new confidence you will find. And you will discover, if you don't already know, empathy, how to connect, care, and work with other people, right? That's going to be super important. What's important is, be sure you'll come out on tops. I'm going to come back to that theme. You will make your unique place in this world, in a field of your choice. You will make it, trust it. While introducing me, the moderator spoke about ranks. My secret, and parents, what works for me may not work for your children. My secret and my firm belief is, half of your exam is not what you remember. Half of your exam is not what you analyze. Half of your exam is, do you manage to stay calm? Staying calm is super important at that point. Not before. You can take all the stress while preparing, but stay calm. That would be my one message to you on your academics. But given everything that's to be done in the next 30, 50 years, I'm talking about 30, 50-year window of opportunity. When we were at your stage, unfortunately, we never had that 30, 50-year window of opportunity. But India and you really have that window of opportunity, which is 30, 50 years into the future. You can really plan and make that impact. You can make us proud as a country. You can make this institution proud as your alma mater. It's really up to you what you want to achieve in that, right? A few thoughts, what you will have to, of course, think about as you build this future, as you capitalize on this opportunity. Education, choose the path. Choose the path which, I think Disha said it well, choose the path which you like, which you believe in, and where you think you can make a difference. Play to your strengths. That's super important, right? Think of the opportunities in the future when you choose your path. Values, for me, and I know there are engineers here, I'm not an engineer. For me, that's the compass. Values are the compass. This world is going to take you through ups and downs, changes, new things happening every now and then. Be clear on your identity. Be clear on your values to steer. Use that as your steering. Keep an open mind. I was glad to hear the boys clap as much as the girls. Keep really an open mind is the best way to learn. Reading, I liked what Lieutenant Commander said. Reading, hearing, listening to others. Learn in any way, but learning is important. Build your identity on empathy and inclusion. The world needs it. It is super important. Build your identity on empathy and inclusion. Be resilient and be agile. This is one of those corporate lingos, right? Be resilient and be agile. So one of the things we say is, and hats off to the parent who came before me, who said, I failed in four times or in 4 papers. In corporations today, we have created this into almost a mantra. We say, fail fast and learn from it. So if you want to try something, try it fast, but learn from it so the next time you build on it and either you're doing something completely different, much better, or you've learned from it, at least not repeating that. So be resilient, be perseverant. The 3 Ps, I think, which the president said are super important. Be resilient, right? Learn continuously, right? This is the good news and the bad news. Unfortunately, education won't stop when you're 22. It won't even stop when you're 24. It won't even stop when you're 50. Learn continuously. That is the good news and the bad news. You have to learn continuously. Otherwise, you'll become a little bit like a dinosaur. No choice on that, right? And basically what I'm telling you is, to succeed, you have the wonderful opportunity. And it's a wonderful window of opportunity for you, because you're in the country which is the source of talent for the world, and the world has so many things to be done in the next 30 to 50 years. So it's a wonderful opportunity, but you have so many things to do. Little bit I'm expecting you to be like Iron Man or Wonder Woman or something like that, but each of you will be your own kind of identity of Iron Man, Wonder Woman. Don't doubt it. Absolutely don't doubt it, right? And I hope the parents believe in their children. I hope the parents will give them exactly that confidence, that each of them turns out to be their own identity of Iron Man, Wonder Woman, whatever they want to be. I have no doubt they are going to get there. Absolutely no doubt each of them is going to get there. And that is my main message to you. Before I conclude, I would, of course, like to really acknowledge, this is my first visit to this institution. I would really like to acknowledge the effort, the commitment, even the care, the love, the passion, the investments that the faculty and the committee has made to make this such a wonderful institution. I think they have done their best to give you the knowledge and give you the values and guide you. Of course, the future is up to you. But they have really made that effort, and I appreciate the gesture. All of you all did it earlier. I will request you all to repeat. I appreciate the effort your parents make. I can tell you, working, commuting in Bangalore and helping you at the same time is not easy, but each of them is trying their best to be available for you. I have passed that phase, unfortunately for me, or fortunately for me, about 10, 12 years back. But hats off to them. And I do think you all can give them one more round of applause to your parents. I see the organizers looking at the clock. I promise this is my last para. So I would like to really conclude with a reminder, a message, and one key line which I would leave with you all. And I'll ask one question and then I walk off, right? So a reminder, stay true to both your dreams and your values. Stay true to both your dreams and your values. They will take you far. They will take you further than anything else. Every plane that takes off, every ship that sails, the fuel behind it, for you to take off and to fuel the ship that sails, it's your dreams and your values that will take you there, right? The dreams will give you the fuel. The dreams will give you the fuel, and the values will give you the steering and the direction you want to go in, right? So just remember that. And combine it with the 3 Ps which the president said. Those are super important. It's not everything I've said is an opportunity. You have to make it possible. But those 3 P's which he said are super important. You have to be perseverant. You have to, all the 3 P's he said are be determined, be super important about it, right? And with that, I would like to conclude with the line, and it's a line I like a lot. Unfortunately, it is part of the byline of Society General uses, but it's a line I personally really, really believe in. The future is yours, and the future is you, really. The future is you. And before I walk off, because you'll have to clap again after that, so before I walk off, at the beginning I said, you'll come out on tops, and you all responded well. How many of you, and now you can just raise hands, how many of you now firmly believe you will come out on tops? Great. And I said one more thing. I hope each of you will take away at least one thing of what I said. Anybody who took away one thing at least? Okay, at least 2 of you took away one thing. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your inspiring and phenomenal words. I'm sure every student here will hold on to values in life, choose the right path, and strive to be good human beings. We request you to accept a memento as a token of our appreciation and gratitude. I request our President, Shri Sanjeev Atmaram, sir, to kindly do the honors. I also request our Honorary Joint Secretary, Shri Nirmal Rajani, sir, to do the honors of giving away fruits and a green memento to our chief guest. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am.
One looks back with appreciation to brilliant teachers. Guru is the presence who transforms one's being. In the presence of the teacher, knowledge flourishes, sorrow diminishes, joy wells up, abundance dawns, and all talents manifest. Our beloved principal, Mrs. Maitreya Satyadev, has always been an indomitable spirit and a brilliant mentor, not only for the students, but for all of us. I request you, ma'am, to deliver the farewell address.
I think that clap meant you're ready to go. Are you? Yes, you've had a long day indeed. Namaste, season's greetings, and a very good evening to all of you present here. On behalf of Sindhi High School, Hebbal, I extend heartfelt gratitude to our distinguished chief guest, Shri Mahesh Bhatija, sir, special invitee, alumna and my student, Lieutenant Commander Disha A. Ashra, President Shri Sanjeev Atmaram, Chairman Shri Prakash R. Naran, Honorary Secretary Shri Arun Rajani, Honorary Treasurer Shri Kiran Chawla, Honorary Joint Secretary Shri Nirmal Rajani, immediate past president, Shri Madan Daulatram, esteemed members of the managing committee, school governing council, dear executives from sister institutions, and dearest parents of batch of 22-23. We are extremely grateful to all of you and thankful for the cooperation and trust that you have shown in us. Thank you, dear parents, for the constant support, be it sports events, annual days, inter-school competition, tournaments, CBSE cluster level. Parents have cooperated with us in all of these. I'm very proud here that 6 of our students have done us totally proud by moving on to the nationals of CBSE cluster, and one of them represented Karnataka in Khelo India. A good round of applause. In all their excitement, I think they missed that information in the first round. Dearest students, Sindhians, another academic year is nearing its end. You're all raring to go. As Dimpy was mentioning earlier, that you took tentative steps into the school when you entered in pre-primary. Some of you have had a very long journey with us of 13 years, and those who continued in the senior secondary, 15 years of your time you have spent with us. That, I think, we need to give a round of applause to all of you students. This journey with tentative steps has brought you now to greater heights with exceptional experiences, magical moments, and unforgettable memories etched for a lifetime. I am certain that you are all experiencing happiness, maybe a trifle sadness, and of course, enjoyment and merriment. It is getting ready for your examinations. These emotions will take you further. We are fortunate to have enthusiastic and talented students who have brought laurels to the school. This ceremony is a new beginning towards achieving your goals. I am certain that whatever you put your mind to, you will achieve it. Going ahead, there is no life without trials and tribulations. I may be philosophical right now, but trials and tribulations will be there. That is reality. How you circumvent them, how you go around them, and move on to your path is what is very, very important. This mic is hitting me in the face. Have an ambition. Have faith in the divine, in your parents, in your educational institution, and yourself. When you catch a flight, you have faith and you trust the pilot. Similarly, when you are in a system, an ecosystem, you need to have faith and trust in all those around you. And at the same time, you have to have faith in yourself, your abilities, and belief in yourself that you can do it. It is easy to say, yes, we will come out tops. But believe me, getting the top marks is a big challenge. Am I right? Yes? You have many challenges which come your way. Face it, use it as an opportunity, and prove your worth. With patience and hard work, you will learn to make responsible decisions for yourself, your family, and your country. Responsibility here will teach you how to differentiate the right from the wrong. You will decide whether to listen to your peer or to take an independent path. Be accountable. Keep trying, keep achieving, and go high with flying colors. One common word, can you name the word, which is a constant in all our lives? Can you name one common word which is used by all at all times? I can't hear you. One common word. Time, okay? So time is ticking away, okay? Another common word? Change, yes. The most important and the most common word is change. Without change, life would be still and stagnant. So change is essential. What happens with change is a transformation. If you're willing to change, you will transform yourself. Some people have the willpower and some don't. It is that some people are ready for a change and others are not willing to change. There lies the difference. Some changes which lead to transformational change is that of habit change. You can decide to get rid of bad habits, and you can choose to create good habits. So create a successful plan for changing, not just yourself, and also influence your peers to change for the good. One needs to be cruel at times to be kind. You're all very familiar with social media influencers. But today in your midst, I had an influencer, my former student, who spoke to you about career options, challenges that you face, and the decision to take it at the right time, to move on the right path. So she is real-time influencer. I think her being here has been a blessing for all of you. To listen to someone closer to your age is definitely a great thing. One small story I would like to share. I don't want to take more of your time. A very tiny story of transformation. There was a person called X. He was a criminal. And he was arrested many times. But he got out on parole when his mother was suffering, and he was a juvenile. So the government was kind enough to release him. And then on his mother's deathbed, he made a promise to transform himself. That transformation took time, took planning, and he was able to get into a very good university to study law. He became a good lawyer, but society is such, it reminded him at all times that he was a criminal. But that did not stop him. He said, society is not allowing me to practice as a lawyer. Fine, I can do something else. He decided to transform the people detained in the juvenile detention center. He went about influencing their lives, helped them create awareness about what is right, what is wrong, and also went on to educate them in the bargain. He did not wait for society's approval. He decided to fight cases on his own and help the youngsters. That was the transformation he brought in the society. I think that is the kind of transformation we all are looking at from you youngsters. Youth will be 70% of our total population, and you are the future. Without you in the limelight, we will be left far behind. To invest time and energy with your parents, it is a two-way street. Parents have to invest time and energy with their children, and similarly, children have to spend time with the parents. It becomes very difficult if the thread of communication between the two fails. Unfortunately, in this society as of now, we do not have the insulation of a joint family. Joint families were a boon to the Indian system, wherein you always had someone to counsel them, always somebody to listen to them, even when the parents were busy. I'm sure all of you will work towards creating such a great society. Positive changes will always lead to increased transformation and increased motivation. And increased motivation leads to more positive change. Children, practice acceptance. It is very important. You should know your worth. You can always aim for something higher, but accept realities. As the parent was mentioning, there are very many doors which will lead to your goal. So try all of it. I remember a very nice book. It is called "It is Okay to Fail, My Son." It is an eye-opener. Failure does not mean it is the end. It means it is the beginning. No doubt it is a rat race out there, and there is a lot of pressure on the families, parents and students included, but I'm sure you will all come out of it very, very quickly. Train your brain for happiness and success. You seem to be very happy today. I'm glad. I'm very happy that you are happy. You are the ambassadors of the school. So go out from this place with passion and a driven determination. Determined minds leads to endless possibility. Thank you for such a patient hearing, students. Here is a song dedicated for you. Try and try again. Over to you, Manju sir.
I messed up tonight. I lost another fight. I still myself, but I'll just start again. I keep falling down. I keep on hitting the ground. But I always get up now to see what's next. Birds don't just fly, they fall down and
children. Thank you, dear parents. Thank you, members of the Governing Council.
Thank you, ma'am. I'm sure our students will draw inspiration from your words to achieve the highest pinnacles of glory. Light symbolizes enlightenment, the cosmic force or divine light. We pray that our students walk boldly and smartly with the guiding light of the Almighty. And as each flame burns brighter, the students will become one with the milestone moment and the school motto, Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya, from darkness onto light. I request the graduating students to kindly rise and come forward to collect the lamp from their respective class teachers. I request our principal to escort our chief guest, president, chairman, and other dignitaries to light the lamp for the graduating students.
Hello, Chut.
Mana
के श्यामल छवि जल के ज्योति कलश जल के ज्योति कलश जल के हुए गुलाबी लाल सुनहरे हुए गुलाबी लाल सुनहरे रंग दल बादल के ज्योति कलश जल के ज्योति कलश जल के ज्योति कलश जल के ज्योति कलश जल के हुए गुलाबी लाल सुनहरे हुए गुलाबी लाल सुनहरे रंग दल बादल के ज्योति कलश जल के ज्योति कलश जल के ज्योति कलश जल के ज्योति कलश जल के
Thank you, sirs. Thank you, ma'ams. Dear students, the responsibility now rests on each of you to carry forward the legacy to places where your lives and hearts will lead.
The graduation ceremony here at Sindhi High School, Hebbal, begins with the recitation of Shikshavali of Taittiriya Upanishad of Krishna Yajurveda, the Guru's final instruction to the students on completing their studies during the Gurukul days. It reminds the students about their responsibilities after graduation and mentions the lifelong pursuit of knowledge. Shikshavali will now be recited by Mr. Karthik BR and Mr. Prasanna MM, and the translation in English by Vice Principals Mrs. Rachna Sharma and Mrs. Chitralekha P.
ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ मित्रशं वरुणः शन्नो भवत्वर्यमा शन्न इन्द्रो बृहस्पतिः शन्नो विष्णुरुक्रमः नमो ब्रह्मणे नमस्ते वायो त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्मवदि त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्म वदिष्यामि रतं वदिष्यामि सत्यं वदिष्यामि तन्मामवतु तद्वक्तारमवतु अवतु माम् अवतु वक्तारम् ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः.
Then comes the final instruction which students in those days received when they completed their study under the teacher. The following is the full text of that instruction, which corresponds to the convocation addresses of modern times delivered at the universities to students who are given their degrees at the end of their studies.
Vedamano chacharyo devasena manushasti satyam vada dharmanchara स्वाध्यायान्मा प्रमदः आचार्याय प्रियं धनमारुत्य प्रजातन्तं मा व्यवच्छेत्सीः.
After expounding the Veda, the teacher enjoins the disciple thus: speak the truth, practice virtue, do not neglect the Veda that has been studied. Having brought to the teacher the wealth that is pleasing to him, do not cut off the line of progeny.
सत्यान्न प्रमदितव्यं धर्मान्न प्रमदितव्यं कुशलान्न प्रमदितव्यं भूत्येन प्रमदितव्यं स्वाध्यायन प्रवचनाभ्यां न प्रमदितव्यम्.
Let there be no neglect of truth. Let there be no neglect of virtue. Let there be no neglect of welfare. Let there be no neglect of prosperity. Let there be no neglect of the Veda that has been studied and its teaching.
देवपितृकार्याभ्यां न प्रमदितव्यं मातृदेवो भव पितृदेवो भव आचार्यदेवो भव अतिथिदेवो भव.
Let there be no neglect of what is due to gods and to departed forefathers. Be one to whom mother is a god. Be one to whom father is a god. Be one to whom teacher is a god. Be one to whom guest is a god.
यान्यनवद्यानि कर्माणि तानि सेवितव्यानि न इतराणि यान्यस्माकं सुचरितानि तानि त्वयोपास्यानि न इतराणि.
Whatever deeds are blameless, be devoted to them, not others. Whatever good customs there are among us, they have to be adopted by you, not others.
एके चास्मश्रेयागुंसो ब्राह्मणाः तेषां त्वयासनेन प्रश्वसितव्यं श्रद्धया देयम् अश्रद्धया देयम् श्रिया देयम् ह्रिया देयम् भिया देयम् संवेदा देयम्.
Whatever brahmanas there may be who are superior to us, they should be comforted by you by giving them a seat. Gifts should be given with faith, should not be given without faith. Should be given in plenty, should be given with modesty, should be given with fear, should be given with sympathy.
अथ यदि ते कर्म विचिकित्सा वा वृत्त विचिकित्सा वा स्यात् एतत्र ब्राह्मणाः सम्मर्षिणः युक्ता अयुक्ताः अलोक्षा धर्मकामा स्युः यथा ते तत्र वर्तेरन् तथा तत्र वर्तेथाः.
Then, if there is in you any doubt regarding rights and any doubt regarding conduct, you should conduct yourself in those cases in such a way in which those brahmanas who may be living there, who are competent to judge, dedicated to good deeds, not led by others, not cruel, and are lovers of virtue, conduct themselves in those cases.
अथाभ्याख्यातेषु ये तत्र ब्राह्मणाः सम्मर्षिणः युक्ताः अयुक्ताः अलोक्षा धर्मकामा स्युः यथा ते तेषु वर्तेरन् तथा तेषु वर्तेथाः.
Then, in respect of persons who are accused of sin, you should conduct yourself in such a way in which those brahmanas who may be living there, who are competent to judge, dedicated to good deeds, not led by others, not cruel, and are lovers of virtue, conduct themselves in respect of such persons.
येषा आदेशः येषा उपदेशः येषा वेदोपनिषत् एतदनुशासनम् एवमुपासितव्यम् evamucchaitadupasyam.
This is the command. This is the teaching. This is the secret meaning of the Vedas. This is the instruction. Thus should one worship. Thus indeed should one worship.
Shanna mitrasham varuna, shanna bhavatvaryama, shanna indra brahaspati, shanna vishnurarakrama, nama brahmane, namaste vaya, tvameva pratyaksham brahmasi, tvameva pratyaksham brahmavadisham, Ratamavadisham, Satyamavadisham, Tanmamavit, Tadvaktaramavit, Avinmam, Avedvaktaram. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om.
The students will now recite the Sadhana Panchakam, which is a classic text in the sacred scriptures written by Sri Adi Shankaracharya. The Sadhana Panchakam has 5 verses, and each verse contains 8 instructions and a combination of do's and don'ts for an individual to attain serenity, the ultimate goal of human life on earth.
Vedo nityamadhiyatam taduditam karma teneshasya vidhiyatam avachitihi kame matisyajatam ahaulam pariduyatam bhavasukhe doshonusandhiyatam atmecha vyavasiyatam nijaghat turnam vinindamyatam.
Let us expound the sacred scriptures and perform the deeds prescribed in them. Let us give up the desire-based deeds and destroy the sins. Let us be firm, tread the path of self-realization and discard worldly pleasures. Sangat satsu vidhiyatam bhagavato bhaktir dridhadhiyatam shantyadit parichiyatam dridhataram karmashu santyajyatam sattvitvānupasarpyatam pratidinam tatpāduka sevyatam brahmaitāksharamajyatam shutishiro bhagyam samakaryatam.
We shall keep the company of the pious and the devoted. Let us aspire to attain serenity and contentment. Let us hear good thoughts and seek a pious and extremely devoted teacher to serve. Let the Supreme Reality be worshipped.
Vakyātyascha vicāryatāṁ śrutishiraha akṣasamāśrīyatāṁ dustartātsu viramyatāṁ śrutinadaha tarkonusandhīyatāṁ brahmasmīti vibhavyatāṁ aharaha garvaః parityajyatāṁ deheham matirucyatāṁ buddhajanaihi vādaః parityajyatāṁ.
Let us discuss the great sins and follow only the trodden path of dharma. Let us debate only those issues which are conducive for the spiritual growth of man. Let us experience the highest state, thou art that. Let pride be given up, selfishness ousted, and arguing with the pious stopped.
Shrutvyadhischa chikitsyataam pratidinam bhikshaushadham bhujyatam svatvanam natu yacyatam vidhivashat praptena santushyatam shitoshnadi vishahyatam natu vrata वाक्यं समुच्चार्यताम् औदासीन्यमभीप्स्यतां जनकृपा नैष्ठुर्यमुत्सृज्यताम्.
We must curb the disease of desire with the medicine of alms. Let us not desire for delicious food, but be satisfied with what we get. Let us discard all those who come in the way of our salvation. Let us tolerate the contradictions in life and use our speech with discretion.
एकान्ते सुखमास्यतां परतरे चेतः समाधीयताम् पूर्णात्मासु समीक्ष्यतां जगदिदं तद्बाधितं दृश्यताम् प्राकर्म प्रविलाप्यतां त्रिपरात् नाप्युत्तरैश्लिष्यताम् प्रारब्धं त्विह भुज्यताम् अथ परब्रह्मात्मना स्थीयताम् अथ परब्रह्मात्मना स्थीयताम् अथ परब्रह्मात्मना स्थीयताम्.
We become serene in solitude, resting our mind in the divine. Let us perceive the supreme reality. Consider the world an illusion. Destroy the deeds of the past. Let not the deeds in the present become cause for the next birth. Let the fruits of the deeds, good and bad, be experienced here. Let us merge with the Supreme.
The head boy, C. Vishwa, and head girl, Manya Ravi Shankar of class 12, will now lead the fellow graduates in taking the graduation oath.
We, the outgoing Sindhians, solemnly promise
to abide by our noble motto, Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya, which means from darkness unto light, to the best of our abilities, all our lives. We promise to dispel the darkness of ignorance and light the lamp of knowledge among our fellow beings, thus remain noble sons and daughters of our motherland. We promise to be loyal to this beloved institution, which has made us what we are, and be bound to her all our lives.
students, today is a significant day in your lives. It tells you how far you have come, but you have a long way to go. This is simply the beginning. Remember, you don't have to be great at something, but you have to start to be great. As you cross the stage today, I hope your time at Sindhi High School Hebbal has equipped you to take every step with confidence and a spirit filled with courage and the determination to be creative, to be innovative, to be kind, and to make an impact in the world. Life isn't always going to be fair or be everything you imagine it would be. But know that there is something inside each one of you that is greater than any obstacle you may face. All the best and God bless you all. May I request the executives along with our guests, President and his office bearers to come forward for a photograph with the outgoing Sindhians.
Ilva, Alokvara. Kira. ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಆಡುತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ಬಿಡ ಬಿಡ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ಒಂದು ಅರ್ಧ ಗಂಟೆ ನಿಂತ್ಕೊಂಡಿರೋ ಬರೋಲ್ಲ ತೆಗೆದು
I take this moment to thank our guests for gracing this occasion with their presence. Special thanks to all the dignitaries. Thank you, parents, for your support and effort in grooming the children and for the long hours you have put to make your child's journey wonderful. On behalf of the school management and all the teachers, we wish all the outgoing Sindhians all the very best for a bright and successful future. Congratulations, class 2022-23. The students will now proceed to the Ganesha shrine for a moment of prayer and blessings along with their teachers. This ritual marks the culmination of the graduation ceremony of 2022-23. I request all of you to kindly rise for the national anthem.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
Students, please proceed to the Ganesha shrine for a moment of prayer.
Hello. Chup.
जिंदा है तो प्याला पूरा भर ले खंजा फूटे पूरा कांच कर ले का ये गड़ा ले एक सांस में गड़ा ले पिछलियों में क्या है मरना पूरा भर ले कोयला काला है चट्टानों में काला है अंदर काला बाहर काला बस सच्चा है साला कोयला काला है चट्टानों में काला है अंदर काला बाहर काला बस सच्चा है साला जिंदा है तो प्यारा पूरा भर ले कंचा फूटे चूरा कांच कर ले
Thank you, children. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for being a part of this graduation ceremony. And we shall now adjourn for dinner at the Golden Jubilee Hall. You all deserve it.